we're the Clays. I'm Roy. This is Tony. We've been at the church now for probably about 14 years. Came as a young couple, and now we're older couple.
We're old now.
With kids. You've seen running around in the church.
Hi, we're the Hoovers. I'm Lynn. This is Robert. We've been here a little bit longer than the Clays. In fact, we've been here since about 1966, 68. And we were married in this church. Our kids were dedicated in this church. Our kids were married in this church. We've just been here a long time, and we love the church.
So I've been here on staff since last May. I didn't realize when I sold my business that I'd be on staff of a church. So now here I am as building facilities manager, and man, has it been an eye-opener for me. I've seen some behind-the-scene things that I wish I hadn't seen. And really, folks, it's time for us to do something about it. And I want to share some areas with you that I think you're going to be real surprised what it looks like. Okay, church, you got to see behind the scenes here, okay? Follow me. How's that? Okay, I want you to be ready for this. I'm going to take you to where our chillers are. And this is one of the biggest problems we have. We have 3 of them. One of them is out. And we have 2 that'll probably go out before the summer's out. And you got to see this, okay? If you haven't, be ready.
Lead on.
Here we go. As you can see the mess that we have down here. You see the water I'm standing in. I mean, it's like ankle deep, which is all the time. But if you'll see the chiller units, they are rusting out. This whole side of this one, the other one is rusted out. And then also this far one back here, I don't know if you can get to it or not, but I'd love you to see this. Let's see if we can just walk over here. If you can see this side, it's completely rotted out. I mean, it won't work at all. We have it off. So now we only have 2 chillers. It's a disaster. And to even try to replace them, you would have to go outside this wall here to even do it. So you can see that it's a mess. So this is just one of the things we deal with daily, with them working or not working. And again, like I said, this one right here, it's toast. It won't work at all.
Okay, Robert, let's make this quick. It's getting hot up here, and the women are melting.
But the men aren't hot, though.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good.
No.
Yeah, feel great. All right, this is what we call the crow's nest. I mean, it is packed full of equipment right here. What these are is actually the air handlers. And these handle every floor of the Fellowship Hall building. Okay, there's 8 units in here, and these are the air handlers. Air handlers are what makes the wind blow in the rooms, okay? Such as they are, whether it's either hot or cold. But they're old. You can see all the old wiring and stuff. I mean, if you dare step down, I'll take you in here and just kind of show you some of the stuff I have to deal with. If you look at this, I mean, you see this electrical box right here. I mean, I know that probably is not code.
I would hazard to guess you're right, Robert.
But what happens is they have to pull this stuff out. Whenever one of these motors goes out, they have to retrofit things. They have to just kind of jerry-rig this stuff to make it work. These valves that have to do with the chiller, the cold water pipes that run through here, they have to just kind of engineer stuff because a bunch of these parts are just not available. So they have to do this stuff. This is dangerous to me, plus it's very inefficient. Ooh.
All right, well, these bottles of water are not just for props. We have all heated up as we've been talking about the air conditioning system, but it's not just about the air conditioning system.
Well, it's really not. I mean, obviously it's the main thing, but we've got some other things that need to be taken care of. We've got a wall on the south side of the rock that is really deteriorated. So that's one of the areas we want to replace that and just kind of continue that wrap that we have with the fascia, the metal fascia on the front. Just kind of carry that on around.
And you need the fascia. It's not like we can just take off the fascia. That is hiding the units that are sitting up on top of the roof.
Well, that's true. It's hiding the unit, plus the fact that I'm not sure even what's behind the fascia that's there. I think it'd be quite a nice if we just took it down. I think we just need to finish what we started.
All right, what else?
The other thing is the parking lot in the rock. I don't know how much, it's so easy. It's kind of like watching a tree grow sometimes, when you're around things all the time. You don't notice them as much. And I really didn't either until I came on staff. And then once I started walking around, I almost wanted to close my eyes because we start seeing these things. the parking lot, which is actually on the north side of the parking lot, is worse than most of it. But it's beginning to wash out by the curb, and I mean, we got some pretty bad washouts. And in fact, one of the light standards, it's washed underneath it. I mean, not that it's gonna fall, but I think over time it could, you know, because it has those, where the wash is right by the standard. But that needs to be resurfaced, and I'm talking about resurfacing the whole parking lot.
So Lynn and I were having a discussion earlier this evening about the front steps. And you were saying what, Lynn?
I was saying that there's been a lot of people, especially the senior adults, but even some of the younger ones that have fallen just going out the front door.
That's true.
There's that little step there, and when those rugs are not down, it just is brick all the way, and it's very deceptive. It's hard to see. Is part of that going to be addressed?
So what our plan is to go in there and build some ramps, take those little steps that you mentioned, that little porch thing, take it down, and come back and make an ADA compliant ramp where people can literally get in there with wheelchairs, and also just people that are walking in and out. They won't have to trip over those steps going in and out. And then make all of that an ADA approved area where people can get in and out, and put new railing, hand railing and stuff like that. So that's also part of our plan as well.
As we've gone on this trip and some of the things that have been coming up over the last month or so, one of the things that we're really doing as a family is trying to decide, you know, how much God's laid on our heart to give. Times are tough right now, but the truth is this church has given so much to us as a family, and we just thank God that we have such a wonderful place for our children.
And God is so faithful. I mean,
He is.
We may not always be able to give as much as we would like to, but I believe that God lets us know what that amount should be, and He's faithful to us.
And the blessings that come
Exactly.
from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope, after you've seen what I see daily, that it's important that we do this for the future of our church. You know, this church means an awful lot to all of us, and it would be sad that we don't continue to maintain it like God expects us to do. It's been here 150 years.
We don't want something going wrong on our watch.
That's exactly right.